Welcome to the Eutaw Street Banter Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Eutaw Street Banter Podcast. I'm your host, Cody, and along with me is Elijah. Once again,
hello, everyone.
Yeah, man. So we have some great news, I hope. Real quick, it's like a special report kind of podcast here. We went and jumped on tonight, and we got some good news. What do we got, Elijah?
So it came out tonight from a lot of different reports that David Rubenstein and two other people are buying the Orioles away from the Angelos family. Finally,
right?
It's about time. But so Rubenstein's coming in. He is the main buyer here in this group, and the other guy's name is well, you got Cal Ripken's another great guy, but also Mike Arrighetti is joining into this. He's another hedge fund rich person. But you have David Rubenstein got his money from founding the Carlyle Group, some financial investment firm thing, and I mean, he's worth $3.7 billion.
Nice.
Which is
nice.
He should be able to go get Blake Snell or something like that with that money.
Yeah.
He's got an interesting history. It seems he's had a couple controversies in the past. I mean, it seems here at one point he was raising rent in mobile home parks to push the poor people out, which isn't great. But which rich guy is great,
right?
But so he seems like he's doing pretty good for himself, and he's been looking into buying sports teams for a while. He's tried to buy, it seems like, the Commanders and the Nationals before, but obviously the Commanders got sold not too long ago, and the Nationals still haven't been sold. But reports came out in December that he was interested in buying it, and Angelos came out and said that he was not going to sell the team. But then it's being sold for $1.725 billion.
Man, you know, it's funny because they called me and I just, I just have, I don't know, I don't know what I'm going to do with that money that's just sitting in my pocket,
Yeah.
I only had $2 billion.
Yeah, $2 billion.
So
No,
that extra.
I know it's not in there, but I gave him the 0.7. That's
Yes. But you know what I am interested in is I'm interested in what like Cal is going to do. Because I feel like it's one of those things where it's really exciting to like have his name on there, but is he just like is he just there for just for the public, I guess.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, but I really do think that I feel like he's brought in for a reason because Rubenstein is a Baltimore guy. He lives in Bethesda right now, but grew up around the Baltimore area his whole life. And I mean, I know how I am. If I had the chance to buy the Orioles and make them better, I would. Obviously,
right.
He had the money to do it. But so I think Cal Ripken definitely helps with the name. But I mean, I know Cal Ripken's been showing interest in trying to buy the Orioles for a long time. So
yeah.
I think
good. You're good.
I think he's good for the image, but he's also good for. I feel like he's better for the player side because I know I'm not an owner of a baseball team, but I'm sure it's a struggle to try to remember that these are people. You can't just act like they are assets at a certain point, but they're also people.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited, and one thing I'm really excited about is I'm very happy that we have the whole Maryland Stadium Authority thing done. It seems so it's not like somebody bought us and we're worried about them taking us elsewhere. So it's like I'm very happy about that because it's sort of like, all right, man, this is things are hopefully on the rise. It's going to be.
Yeah.
I think most of our issues with the Orioles have always been with ownership, and I am willing to see if the grass is greener.
Yeah, and it's just the problem I do have with it is like we all want to get happy because it's going to be a change, but I don't know if we're going to see any changes this year. Is the sad thing to say.
I agree.
The reporting came out that they're only purchasing a 40% stake in the club right now because they have to wait for Peter Angelos to die. And that sounds terrible, but
that sounds terrible. But
I mean, he's 94.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if I was Peter Angelos, I would make the same. You know what I mean? It's one of those.
Yeah.
You wonder almost because you've heard of like the Angelos family is like, I'm not trying to be like E-News over here, but you wonder it. You hear about the Angelos family, they kind of go on a riffraff with the
I mean,
whole
they're
Orioles.
suing
You have
each
one
other,
brother
and
getting mad at it, and you wonder if the dad's like, you know what, we're just going to take the money and
yeah,
go home. Because I mean, you look at they're looking around the room. I mean, you're talking $2 billion. I mean,
$2
where
billion.
you're gonna be fine for a
Yeah,
long time.
they're getting more money than John Angelos is worth. Like,
Really?
yeah,
That's
he's
crazy.
only worth 1.7.
Right.
He's getting, I think, more money than he's worth currently, which
Uh,
is insane to
yeah,
think about.
yeah, that's
But
amazing.
I mean, it is what it is, and we'll see. Really, I'm looking forward to not even just the gaining players. I think this is really going to help. I think you'll start seeing when he takes over fully some real improvements at Camden Yards. I think.
You mean
I
you'll
feel
be
like,
able to hear like the announcer?
yeah, yeah, get
Yeah,
better
like
speakers maybe. Not have the same speakers from
yeah,
1991 when it opened up.
right.
But I think that you'll get more improvements with that. I think you'll even maybe see better staff. So I think they might be able to get a raise.
Yeah.
He might be more willing to pay certain people more than minimum wage. And I don't know. We'll have to see how quickly this deal gets done because all 29 other owners have to vote on it to make it allow. But I don't see why the other owners really care about this. It's going to make them more money because they get a share of the sale. And I mean, if you have an owner like Jeff Fisher in the A's, who's just, I mean, talk about destroying a franchise. If they don't care about that, I don't think they're going to care about the Orioles getting bought.
Right.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
the one interesting thing to think about, though, just to put in all Orioles fans' heads that this is really a major step up, is that Rubenstein, on a ranking of all owners, is 8th in net worth
Wow.
versus 18th of the Angelos. So, I mean, that's a pretty major step up.
Right.
And you just want to see some movements. You don't need him to be Steve Cohen and come out here and buy every single person you can. But maybe now we can start trying to be more like the Astros, where Michael Elias was there when they bought pitchers.
Yeah. I mean, this is encouraging. Like, can you imagine looking around and to buy a MLB team, and you look at the Orioles and you're like, boy, they're set up for like the next 6 to 10 years. This is a great opportunity to
Yeah.
really try to make money back as fast as possible. I mean, right now it's 40%. So I'm not gonna put a negative, hope on Peter Angelos, because that's not what I'm about. But so if it's only 40% for the next 6 years or however long, then good for him.
Yeah.
I'm just you wonder. So he gets a 40% stake, but you wonder if he gets a little more. He can put his ideas in, since he knows he's the future. Or
Yeah.
does he have to take a step back? And because I guess my thing is the 40% more about the money than it is who says who? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think that's going to be the interesting to see if until Angelos dies and they could take over, if there is a change at all, because it says they don't have the majority. They don't have too much power, sadly.
right.
I
Yeah.
mean, it'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see. I really think we have a chance now to hopefully extend everybody. I think I'm more worried about extending players than even getting free agents.
Yeah.
Because if you have a young team like this and you can't keep them around, we're not going to be competitive in 6-7 years.
Well,
You
it
need to be
definitely makes you see that there might be a possibility,
yeah.
right? So
It
that's
gives you
kind of,
more hope.
yes, because I had 0% chance of hope
I
before,
know.
and now can we keep 4 guys that
Yeah.
are that are here, that would be great.
Yeah.
And then and then how big of a fan is he? Is he really only a businessman, or is he a fan of the Orioles? That's another thing, that he can say whatever he wants to say. He's going to say he's a fan, but
Yeah.
you don't know until you see how, what he does.
Yeah. I mean, we're going for a spot with Angelos where we were thinking we'd be lucky to have, out of Grayson Rodriguez, Jackson Holiday, Gunnar Henderson, and Adley Rutschman, to be able to extend one of them.
Right.
And now we're hopeful now you can maybe get all but one.
Right. Yeah. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
I
we'll
like
see.
your optimism. I do. So we got a couple other news and notes for for today?
Yeah, so earlier today, we also signed minor league left-handed pitcher Andrew Suarez.
Oh my gosh!
I know, you know him? No,
Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah. I know
So,
him.
so Andrew Suarez, he's had a very weird career, is what I'd like to say. So he came up as a rookie with the Giants in 2018. Just short cup of coffee, only 160 innings pitched. And then the next season, he went into the bullpen instead of starting through 32 and 2/3 innings. And then in 2020 COVID season, he had his best ERA by far. He had a 3.72 ERA, but only threw 9 and 2/3 innings. Then didn't play until last season. And then through 27 innings with the Cardinals, who were not known for their pitchers, had a 7.16 ERA, had a 6.94 WHIP, FIP, and a 1.735 WHIP. I don't really like what I see. I don't see him being on the 40-man coming close. He's just maybe gets an invite to spring training and starts out the year and probably spends it all in AAA.
Or maybe just some depth
Yeah,
that
it's
come up and go down, just to,
yeah. If
I got
they
you.
can find something with him, I'm sure they signed him for a reason. I'm sure there's something that they see that he likes. I mean, looking at his stats, it's pretty rough. I mean,
Yeah.
he gave up 7 home runs last year in 27 innings.
Sure. Hopefully, maybe they were all to left field, and he's going to pitch at
that would be
Camden.
great.
Yeah, and now they're just flyouts.
Yeah, it's
So,
just
yeah,
it's an interesting one.
They were all 320 in left, 340 feet in left field,
Yeah.
and now that's a flyout in Camden Yards.
And then the only other news today, and luckily it's the only bad news from today, is that Bob Nightingale reports that the talks between the Orioles and the White Sox for Cease have ended. And
Wow.
he says that if a deal's not made between the Mariners and the White Sox, he doesn't see them moving Cease until the All-Star break.
You know what that sounds like to me is that sounds like the White Sox got their feelings hurt.
They
Because
want too much.
yeah, that's the White Sox saying, you know what, we're not talking to you anymore because you're not giving us everything.
You're not giving us Jackson Holiday.
Yeah, and you're sitting here going, well, I mean, if Cease was like a dominant pitcher last year, like dominant, then yeah, we would. But you gotta. But yeah, I got you. Well, I'm just glad we were able to get on here and get a quick little special update, and to talk about some good news. And if I had to choose between getting Cease and keeping our owner, or Cease getting, the White Sox getting upset and us getting a new owner, I think I would choose what we got tonight. You know what I mean?
This is better than any signing or trade that we could have done this offseason.
Yeah. So I am very happy. And we'll have a new show coming up shortly in the next week or so. So definitely please stay tuned for that. Until then, hopefully everybody has a great day or a great night, whatever you're listening to this on. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.
See ya.